Jesus told his disciples a story to teach them how important it is to forgive. There was a king who decided to settle all the debts of his servants. One of them was brought before him who owed an enormous amount of money, so much that he could never repay it in his lifetime. Because he could not pay, the king ordered that the servant, his wife, his children, and everything he owned be sold to repay the debt. The servant fell on his knees before the king and begged, "Please be patient with me, and I will pay back everything." The king was moved with compassion. Instead of punishing him, he forgave the entire debt and let him go free. But that same servant, after leaving the king, found a fellow servant who owed him a small amount of money. He grabbed him by the throat and demanded, "Pay me what you owe me." The other servant fell to his knees and pleaded, "Please be patient with me, and I will pay you back." But the first servant refused. Instead, he had the man thrown into prison until he could pay the debt. When the other servants saw what had happened, they were deeply saddened and reported everything to the king. The king called the first servant back and said to him, "You wicked servant, I forgave you all that great debt because you begged me. Shouldn't you have had mercy on your fellow servant just as I had mercy on you?" In anger, the king handed him over to prison until he could pay back everything he owed. Then Jesus said, "This is how my heavenly Father will treat each of you unless you forgive your brother or sister from your heart." Moral lesson: forgiveness must be given as freely as it is received. When we refuse to forgive others, we forget the great mercy that God has already shown us. A grateful heart forgives, just as it has been forgiven.